What's up? It's your beautiful black queen that everyone love. What's happening? It's your girl Vanessa Ramona, and I'm back with another video. Listen, if this is your first time, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, as well as hit that post notification bell just to let you know when I drop another video. If this is not your first time, welcome back, my Lavish Dolls. I love you guys so much. And if this is not your first time, you haven't subscribed just yet, then what are you waiting on? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, today. And like my video as well. So I am getting ready to show you guys how to actually clean up your brows, as well as how to fill in your brows for makeup. So if you would like to see how I do my brows, how I shape up my brows, then definitely stay tuned to this video and definitely watch to the end. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into the video. So the first thing that you want to do, you want to get you a spoolie because you want to be able to comb and brush your brows in the shape that you would like them. For the most part, your brows are already pretty much shaped to fit your face. You know, it's already in its shape and it's already in its form. The only thing that you're trying to do is just clean them up, okay? So the first thing that you want to do, you want to get you a spoolie and you kind of want to brush those hairs. And if your hairs are like mine, they are untamable sometimes. So what I would do, I would go in, some people go in with gel, some people go in with pomades, some people go in with primers. It's just totally up to you. So for me, I'm gonna go in with my Becca primer and I'm just gonna put these on my brows because it really, you guys, like literally help my brows to stay in place and to slick them down, all of my wiry hairs and all of that stuff. So you just want to make sure. And for me, my brows are like really thin and really sparse. I don't know if you guys can see that, but like my brows have always been like that, you know what I mean? Always. Because I want to smooth them so that I can have all those hairs going in one direction so I can see exactly what I'm doing, because you always want to make sure that you have a good working area. And what I mean by that is always having a space where you can see exactly what you're doing, so you don't want hairs all over the place or whatever, because you don't want to cut too much and you don't want to keep too much. And the next thing I'm going to do is take my razor. This is a brand new razor, so it's pretty sharp. So you definitely want to make sure that anytime you have like a brand new razor or anything like that, you want to make sure that you are very careful, because it is really sharp when you first take it out, and it will cut everything. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do, you want to lift. I normally lift my brow and I shave down, as you can see, the hair that's on the top, because you want to clean all of this up, because you want to give it definition to the shape. So I'm gonna go up and I'm just gonna drag down, on top of the entire brow. As you can see, as it's already cleaned up the top part of it. Kind of a little ashy, but it's okay. You know it's cut, okay? You know it's cut. But like I said, you just kind of want to go in, pull down. And a lot of times, the reason why you pull on the skin is because you don't want the razor to skip. A lot of times when the razor skips on the skin, it causes you to actually cut the skin. So you definitely want to make sure, if you ever seen a barber do any type of razoring on a guy or anything like that, they normally kind of gently hold the skin, because it keeps the razor from skipping and keep you from cutting yourself. Let's get into the bottom. So as you guys can see, I'm just going to kind of come in just a little bit close. Hopefully you guys can see that. What I normally do with the razor at the bottom, or the razor for the bottom of my brow, I just take it and I go inward. So I go against the grain. I go against the grain. The reason why I decided to go against the grain is because it helps to take off more hair and it helps to do it seamlessly. So I typically go against the grain, and then once I get majority of that hair off, I just kind of go down in a downward motion, because I just want to make sure that it is seamless as much as possible. Can you guys see that? And you always want to take your spoolie and just kind of go in and brush. Like I said, my hairs have always been sparse, so definitely, you know, Don't look at it, oh, she cut off too much hair. No, my hair has always been like that. Always, all of my life. And then at this point, you can just kind of go in and shape and trim up, take off what you want to take off. And yeah, this is pretty much how you shape up your brow. And then I'll normally go in after I'm done. I normally go in with my alcohol. I normally go in with witch hazel, which I have my witch hazel right here. I'm gonna spray that on my eye, because once more again, once you shave your eye and stuff like that, or shave your brows or whatever, you always want to make sure that you're going in with some type of antiseptic, some type of I normally would say not to use alcohol because it's gonna burn. Now that I have that trimmed down, the next thing that I'm getting ready to do is go in with my little shears. And typically what I do, I just kind of brush the hairs up, and you guys see how long it is over there. I'm gonna actually take my little shears and I'm just gonna trim those very long hairs off, because it's gonna really give like a unified look. Be very careful when you're doing this, because I'm just going in and trimming off those very long pieces of hairs. All right, guys, now that we have our brows all shaped up in the way that we want it, I'm getting ready to go in and show you guys how to actually fill in your brows. This is an updated version, and this for the brows. So you always want to make sure that when you're doing your brows, that your brows are clean and they are shaped up. When it comes to actually filling in our brows, we're tracing them. And if your brows are not already previously plucked or tweezed or waxed or razored prior to, 9 times out of 10, you're going to come out with thicker than normal brows. And if that's your preference, then that's completely fine. But I like to just kind of trim up my brows before I actually fill them in. So for this process, you have so many different things. Some people like to fill in their brows with powder. Some like to fill it in with a pencil. Some like to fill it in with pomade. It's totally up to you. It's definitely your preference. But for me, I like to use a pencil because you have a little bit more control when you are going in with a pencil. So I have my brown pencil here, and this is a new pencil, and this is a jumbo pencil actually too. Jumbo pencil. So I'm gonna actually go in, and all I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna come in a little bit closer. If you see me looking up, it's because I have a mirror behind the camera. And what you're doing, all you're doing is going in and you're tracing the shape of your brow. For me, because I don't have a natural arch, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in and create myself an arch. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, once I get to the part that is supposed to be arched, which is normally right in between this area, I'm going to just kind of go up and come down. It doesn't really matter how messy this process is, because you're going to clean it up with concealer. Your concealer is almost like an eraser, and I got that information from a very great makeup class that I went to. Definitely go and check out her page. Her name is Sharita, and I will link her information in the comment box below or description box below. Yeah, so what I'm doing, I'm just going in and creating me a brow. As you can see with the bottom, what I did was I went in and did a trace. Normally I do not go at the front of the brow. The reason why I don't go at the front of the brow is because you're going to run into the thing of creating a box brow. So you always want to make sure that that line is open, and you fill in anything else after that. You want to make sure that you're bringing that down. Normally, it's supposed to fall somewhere between there, the tail of the brow. You don't want it to go any further than that. You don't want it to be a little bit shorter unless that's your preference. But I like to kind of extend it down at this angle. So once we get to the front of the brow, we're just going to do light upward strokes. And it's almost like hair-like strokes. Now you're going to go back in with your spoolie. And you're going to brush. You're going to brush that upward because you want to blend that out. You want to blend out that pencil. You see that? You just kind of want to go in and, yeah, brush everything down. So you see how I actually created that brow, that natural looking brow in the front. And like I said, it doesn't matter how messy it is right now because you're going to go in and clean it up with concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my other brow, and then we're going to get to the concealer. All right, so we have the brows filled in to our liking. We have them brushed. Now we're getting ready to go in with our concealer, okay? So you want to, anytime that you are doing concealer, you want to, first of all, think about what look you're going for. If you want to go with a natural look and you're not doing any shadows, you definitely want to go in with something that is more as the color of your foundation, because you don't want to go any lighter because you're gonna look crazy. So I'm gonna go in with my brush. This brush is so old. I think it just came in like a little makeup kit or something that I had. But it gets the job done, and listen, I use it all the time. So I'm just gonna squeeze out just a little bit of concealer on my skin or on my hand. And yeah, this is what I'm gonna use for the base of my brow, which is the bottom part of my brow. And yeah, so when we're cleaning up, we want to go as close, can you guys see that, as close to the line as we possibly can without going inside the line. If you do go inside of the line, trust me, it is perfectly fine. I have another step that I'm going to actually do, and that's going to fill in any imperfections that might happen with concealing. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go in. I'm trying to see if I want to use my mirror here. You guys see that? As close to the line as you possibly can. Once you get that there, you're going to pull down on that concealer. See how crisp that is, how crisp the brow at the bottom looks, because that's what the concealer do for you. I'm telling you, that's what the concealer do. Whew. And at this point, this is when you go in, if you're gonna do shadows, and you're gonna put the rest of that on that lid. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull that down. So I'm gonna go in with my foundation, which is the Maybelline Fit Me. I have the color 330, which is toffee. And I'm just gonna go in and just put a little bit of that on my hand, just a tad bit. Okay. And the same way that I did the bottom of the brow, I'm going to do the top of the brow the same way. I'm going to trace it. So we're definitely going to go in and we're going to trace. So normally what I do, because I want to make sure that I don't have so much product on my brush so that it does not bleed into my brow, I am going to go in like this. I normally go in and paint just a little bit above. And then I'm going to go in and just trace. It's all about tracing, guys. And we're going to connect that line. Do you guys see how perfect that is? Girl, them brow be banging. Do you guys see? I'm gonna come in just a little bit closer. Do you guys see that? So the final step that I typically do is go in with a brow, or not, it doesn't have to be a brow powder or anything like that. It can just be some regular powder that you have. And I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna set that pencil and everything. I'm just gonna set it. So I'm just gonna tap it into that dark brown, and I'm just gonna go in and fill in any places that I feel that I got too low with the concealer or too high with the concealer. Totally up to you. This is optional. This is not something that you have to do, but for me, it just gives more definition and more va-va-voom to that brow. You see that? See, compared to this one, and look at this one. It gives that va-va-boom, okay? So you definitely want to go in with this. So I'm gonna go and finish up this other brow, and then I'm gonna come back with the final look of my brows. I am back, and these are the final brows. Do you guys see how snatched these brows are? Listen, I put my heart and soul into these brows. Okay, so if you guys definitely like this video, I have not finished the rest of my face because this was only a cleanup as well as a fill-in brow tutorial. So if you want to see how I actually achieved the rest of my face, then definitely look out for the next video, because I am dropping another video of my updated makeup routine. So definitely you guys stay tuned. Until next time, I love you guys. And definitely, if you are doing your own brows and if you're following along with me, then definitely go ahead and send a picture. Send me a picture. Go over to my Instagram page and follow me, Beckett Vanessa, and send me some pictures. Shoot me some pictures in my inbox of the brow job that you did. And yeah, so until next time, your girl love you, and I am out. Peace.